And hey, Ivanhoe, long time no see. I hope you're going well. Let's bring this in. All right, cool. I hope you're getting... I'm trying to think when I last saw you. All right, this is now ready for QA. Well enough, how am I doing? Yeah, I'm doing good. Getting ready to move and stuff like that. So got all my stuff pretty much packed. So yeah, it's gonna be a big weekend. All right. I don't know why Zoom and non-Zoom are not working now on Mac. It's annoying as hell. Back to my unit. So yeah. Okay, npm run watch. I'll just wait. Git status. Oh. Oh, no, that's all fine. That's just npm run watch. That's all just static files, which will be overridden when I do npm watch anyway. And let's bring this back up. Oh, it's running. Cool. So there it goes. So in this sort of case, delete Kanban cards and links. So the idea is currently you can archive a single card. Why do we need to delete them? That is actually a good point. Let's play around with this. Let's see if this is a feature we still want to keep. I also need a open Kanban board functionality on the front. And I should do something about how that overreaches, but it's one of those CSS things which I'll... Fair enough. No, oh, this is going 9 years ago or 8 years ago? 8 years ago. 8 and a bit years ago. I bought a 2-bedroom unit and I moved into there. And yeah, and then I eventually moved into my ex's place and we broke up a bit over 2 months ago. So I'm moving back in now. So yeah. All right, secondary card. So we can archive the card at the moment, which I feel like that is an appropriate thing to do. Instead of delete, do the same thing. It's gonna make it disappear and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm fine with that. So this, I'm going to put in, have decided the archive functionality is good enough. Users will no longer be able to see the active card. So I'm going to say this is completed. Update card, done. I do want to put in the card here. I want to quickly say have Kanban board shown on dashboard. Currently we have to search to see currently active Kanban boards. So yeah, let's do that today. The priority settings in Kanban cards, that's a feature we can actually do. We just need to add on particular fields, so that one can be done. Add in cards, labels, and tags, that one can also be done. Cards that have checklists, I haven't added the checklists yet. It'd be nice to have Kanban cards that it could also... Yeah, we'll have a look at checklists a bit later. I feel like that will be after the 0.30 release. So the 0.30 release is going to be huge, and there's going to be a lot of changes. So going to be a lot of breaking changes. So I might as well implement some of these database changes also and implement it in so I can develop it in the future. So, yeah. But at least we're knocking cards out from here. Okay, so in this sort of case, I'm just going to double check this. So what I want to actually do is I want to assign myself to this particular card. So this is card number 1. Sweet. So on the dashboard itself, you'll see card number 1. I can see if I click it, comes here and I'll open up this. If I archive this card, go to the dashboard, it only shows card number 4. And I can just delete that from me and Pop's your uncle. Yep, cool. All right, sweet. Let's add in the Kanban board. So I'm actually going to create a new dashboard widget up here. So we want it just to collect the information we need. So let's go into the back end. Let's just close all. Let's scroll up. I figured that's minimize everything. I'm like, yes. All right. Let's open up NearBeach first. Let's open up our templates. Let's open up NearBeach again, and we want dashboard. So let's open up dashboard. So in dashboard, what we've got is if the user is a super user, there's a special super user thing shown. Essentially, that does double checks for super user things. So for example, people missing names, groups, notice that, and all that kind of fun stuff. Here is the RFC approvals. So that will pop up for any RFC approvals. We've got my objects, and then we've got unassigned objects. We don't actually have a bug list. I do believe that is a widget which we were building. I've got to re-implement it. The idea being is you can connect bugs into NearBeach. And yeah, what we've got to do is we've got to think about that sort of whole process a little bit thoroughly and add in the ability to tell users, hey, you've got this many bugs assigned to this many projects and stuff like that. And have the ability for people to play around with that data tool. So we'll add in a break. And then we're going to put in here dashboard Kanban boards, like so. We don't actually have the code yet, so we're going to create that very quickly. So let's open up our source, our JavaScript, our components, our dashboard. So in here, we want to create a new component, so new file, and we're going to call it dashboard Kanban boards. And then that will just be a view. Got our template, got our script, we got our name, dashboard, Kanban boards. Do we need props and stuff? We won't need props. We'll need methods, and we'll need mounted. Here will be get data, simple function to get data, and we'll need to import require Axios equals, oh, how is this done again? Const. Just because I like having this pushed in just a little bit, bang. Const Axios equals require Axios. All right. So this should render. Now, very much like the other, Oh, we already have Kanban board list. Let's not save that. Let's then delete that. Because if I've got Kanban board list, props, Kanban results, so we're pulling that from the back end and stuff like that. So my objects and all that kind of stuff, what they actually do, mounted, get my objects. All right. So get my objects, it does it through Axios. So it's promised the data and all that kind of stuff. And this is data for rendering and stuff like that. So we're going to follow the same sort of logic. Instead of having Django pass it into the backend, we're actually going to get the backend to send it to us via an Axios call and all that kind of stuff. So I am going to get rid of props. I am realizing that this is not laid out correctly. All right, there we go. And then const Axios equals require Axios. Cool. Export the name. So we want methods. That's an object where we have get my Kanban list. That would be a function. And then use Axios to get data. All right, cool. We'll do that in a minute. We've also got data. Where we've got return. Actually, we should be using a better function for this. I think if memory serves me correctly, it's that. All right, cool. So we want data and we want Kanban list. We're keeping it short. We're just having an empty list at the start. That's perfectly fine. I think it's got to be in that. All right, let's actually search. Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah. Cool, so we've got our Kanban list. We've got our get Kanban list. So what will actually happen is axios.get. We'll enter in a URL. And then we've got a response where this dot Kanban list will equal the response.data. And that's it. We need to program in the error collection. So error. So log error. However, this to do add in the proper error mixin. So we do need the error mixins. So mixins. What we want is import error. Error mode will mix in. All right. But I don't think that is the right thing. Yeah, that's not the right thing. So I'm just double checking. Error modal mixin. All right, close enough. And then here, mixins, that is like that. And then it's error modal mixin. Sweet, done. Okay, and then what we want to do is show error modal. Yeah, it's something like this. All right. So I've got error. This will be can van list. And I think I just need that. If I go to definition, won't let me. All right, not a problem. We'll go to the mixin. I'll double check what that third field is and if I need it in this particular case. I think I programmed it so you didn't need it. So mixins, where are you? There you are. Location ID, don't really need it. Yeah, I don't need it. In fact, that could just be a 0. Perfectly fine. All right, cool. So we just need a URL. And then once we get to that, we just need to program in this. So this will be a table, very quick and easy table. But at the moment, let's get the URL from Django. So with the dashboard, what we want is a simple dashboard can then list, and that's it. That's all we need going in there. We do need a vbind in the root URL. All right, root URL equals, and then we've got the two. You know what? Because it's right here, they've got backticks. There's a reason why we use backticks in this particular one. Because we use every single quotation mark there. So we need the root URL passed down, and that will be used for the URL. So we do actually need props. So that actually goes preferably above here. So props, that is an object. What we have is root URL. That is of type string. And default is going to be just /, and that is it. Sweet, cool. So that will actually go down here. In the meantime, let's bring up Django's URLs. So this is another file which will probably be split up because, as you see, there are a lot of URLs in here, but that's fine. At the moment, it's all in alphabetical order, so it is pretty easy to find. All right, document. Oh, we need dashboard. Dashboard, get RFC approvals, get unside projects, get user with no groups, get my objects. It will be essentially path dashboard get Kanban list. All right, simple, easy. Dashboard views get Kanban list, and then name equals get Kanban list, and then now that will stop the this because it doesn't exist. All hell's breaking loose. We know that. We're just putting it in the URLs quickly, and then we'll jump in and fix this right now. So we'll need to actually go to the views. So scrolling up NearBeach, we don't need templates, we'll close those. We need the views are open and simple and easy. Yeah, just keeping it simple and easy. Dashboard views, in here we've got the get my objects. We've got the get bug list. It actually belongs in between these two. It's actually going to use the exact same oh god, it's slipping my tongue. Decorators. So def get Kanban list. All right, this will have a simple request. All is good. Has no idea about web demo. All right, so what we need is we're doing a similar thing down here where we're looking at a user's group and we're filtering just for that group. So everything that is assigned to that group, which is usually under object assignment. So object assignment results equals, and then what we need here is object, this is now in the new case, object assignment dot objects dot filter is deleted equals false. Then what we need here is where Kanban board ID is null equals false. So this will get every single one where there is a Kanban board. Now we just need to actually get the users groups and make sure, because these boards will be assigned to the users groups, and that's the information we need. So user group will equal user group dot objects dot filter where is deleted equals false. I should point out this should be user group ID in. All right. Is deleted equals false. What else did we want? We wanted the username. I'm going to have to actually look up the models table very, very quickly. So user group. So down here we've got the group ID. So that's what we want. So that would be group ID, group N. Should be group ID. And so we'll need the group ID, and it's the username. So username equals request.user, I think goes there. So what's happening here is it's getting the users groups, group ID. All right, it's making sure that the object assignments where there is a Kanban board where the group ID is in that user groups that the user's assigned to. Great, this is what we want. Then we've got Kanban results equals Kanban board dot objects dot filter, and then what we need to do here is deleted equals false. Kanban board, because we've got a Kanban board status. So we don't want closed ones, we just want the opened ones. So if we have Kanban status choice, we've got opened. So Kanban status, could double check that it's most likely board status. Kanban board status equals, and I'm just double checking that to see if it's a capital O. It is a capital O. Open. then that should actually be in quotes. All right, so we want them opened. We also want the Kanban board ID in equals object assignment results dot values, and then Kanban board ID, like so. So that will grab everything in there. Make sure that the Kanban board says they're open and all that kind of stuff. Now, the reason why I've split these two out is I just don't want something so complicated. Like, you can't put this in here without a problem, but you're complicating your code up just a little bit. That's why I decided to have it this way. And also, this is lazy. So this won't run until this is required to run, which is great news. Now, the next thing is I need to send back it as a JSON result. So we send back as JSON. Essentially, we are copying these 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. Instead of bug results, we got Kanban results. Like so. All right, so we've got the URL, which will be this. This error should no longer be appearing. And it should also be reloading. Just double checking, get Kanban list, yep. All right, this did this the other day, didn't it? Right there. Cool, I just killed it. Yeah, this happened the other day where for some strange reason it just keeps saying that, oh, that thing isn't really there. When in reality it is, and you kill the program and you start it again and it's like, oh wait, it is there. So it's an annoying bug. All right, so here. So this .root URL, and then we've got we just need to copy just this because we don't need to send any data to the back end. Now, this is actually not a get, this is a post. So we don't need to send anything into the back end. Everything should be fine here. We don't have any data to send or anything like that. It is a simple sort of thing. So at the moment, it is going to be like this. Just got to make sure, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Why is this throwing up a little exclamation mark? I don't know. So we've got that compiling. We've got this. Let's actually load up localhost. Now we don't have it on the screen. That might be, piss off. Failed to resolve the Kanban list. All right, that is not a problem. That actually might have to do with something in the app itself. So we need to go to the app.js. And as you can see, Kanban edit board is in here. We don't, dashboard, my objects, and stuff like that are in here, just not the dashboard Kanban list. So we'll add that in. And then we'll add it in here. Like so. We do need to actually go to the components. Actually insert the component in here. So we have dashboard Kanban list equals define async component, because all of this is async. We'll have that like that, and then bang like that. Oh, let's went up to import and then we've got some weird Webpack thing, Webpack chunk name, dashboard, and then list. We end that chunk name, and then we go components, dashboard, dashboard, and then list.view, and we hit save. And that will take a little while to actually render. As you see, there is a warning. That's why it was giving me a warning. 41 warnings. Oh no. Why are you giving me so many warnings? No. So dashboard can ban list.view. Yep. Why is it saying all these not found? Oh, forgot a comma. I'm glad I found that right away, because that would have taken me forever. So glad I found that. All right, let's hit refresh. Reference area, string is not defined. Oh, all right. No, I've made a mistake. All right, let's go back to Kanban list. The type is a capital S string. So we'll save that. We'll wait half a second. We'll hit refresh. So we've got open Kanban boards now, right? And we've got nothing in there so far. The idea is this won't show if there's no data. We'll add that in and so forth. That's happened. At the moment, let's actually find out what data's been sent back. So we go back to the Kanban list. We've got a Kanban list array of 0, which doesn't make sense because if we go to list all, we've got 1, which is assigned to us. So we are going to go through the, and I've got to, so I kind of like how that's small. It's not so big as those, but I should keep the same things. So the idea is, let's go in here. Let's actually hit the dashboard views. Let's boom this on here and let's hit refresh. So I've just added on a breakpoint. Does it just not hit that breakpoint? Am I not calling it? Oh, I'm not calling it. Sorry, so it's not hitting this. The reason being is mounted get list of Kanban items. Get my Kanban list. I'm just not running it. I should also have up here simple just v if. Then we have Kanban list.length greater than 0. That's a quick and easy way to get things done. So we wait half a second, we hit refresh. It now hits this. Great. All right, I am just gonna hit just play. I'm not gonna bother. I want to see the results. Ooh. Object data Kanban board is not serialized. So yeah. Okay, what is mounted? So this, if we go into, not state management, there's a diagram. I've just absolutely forgotten the name of it. I'm terribly sorry. Not event handling. lifestyle hooks. All right, I am just going to zoom out just a little bit so you can see this a little bit better. I will paste this in here. So it's part of the whole life cycle of Vue.js. So you got the render components, you got the initial API, you got all this sort of stuff, you got the initial render. So when it hits mounted, that's when it runs that particular function or method, whatever you want to call it. So essentially I've fed in the component all the data, and now once that thing has mounted onto the screen, it will run what's in there. I'll add. Oh, God. All right, just tell me when you are back. Smiley face. Okay, cool. You're back. All right, cool. I'll start from the start. So this is the lifecycle diagram. So what actually happens is it goes from the top up here, it initiates all the stuff, has a pre-compiled template, usually for me, I think no. Initialize, render, and create and insert DOM nodes, and then you hit this mounted sort of thing. So what actually happens is it will run those particular functions that I specify in here, and a lot of the times you would use it to sort of calculate data or collect data from Axios. Those are the two main reasons why I use it. I can't think of a third reason at the moment. I'm sure there are other people that have a good reason why they're doing stuff in mounted. And then what actually happens is you have this sort of loop here. So you got two other sort of triggers, which are triggered essentially when the data's been updated. So for example, I might do an Axios call to get some data, which I'm doing right now. And what will happen is I'll update that data. This loop will trigger. I can actually hook it in for this and do something on that. And then let's say when it's updated, I do something else with that hook and so forth like that. And then when essentially I unmount everything, so if it's a single page application and you're removing all the components or something like that, you can do stuff there and unmount it and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's just the whole lifestyle sort of stuff. So essentially mounted will, when this particular component actually gets rendered to the screen, it'll mount, and then I'll run this particular command, which will just tell it to, hey, just get the data. So at the start, this won't appear because I've told it, hey, if the Kanban list is of length greater than 1, show it, but otherwise don't bother. And by default, it'll have a 0 length, so it won't show anything. So this axis will get data. That could take, worst case scenario, a couple of seconds, in which case, once it gets that data, it will then update this, which will then update the re-rendering of this. So it will go through here and be like, oh, okay, yep, cool. And you can have in other hooks and all that kind of stuff in here. I don't use this often. I use computed more than anything else. So yeah. So if you wanted to remove elements because the user's logged out, you would do them in unmount. That is a good question. I handle all of that at the Django side of things. So what will actually happen is when a user logs out, Django will literally refuse any connectivity and actually purposely tell the browser, hey, go to this page. So for example, if we, I know this is going to be a problem, but let's go into new customer, all right? Let's say I duplicate the tab and I log out here. Now it doesn't automatically log out here or anything like that, but if they try and do something, well, okay, that's like refresh, it'll automatically, yeah, there's so many layers. So let's see what went wrong here. Actually, I'm just gonna hit play because I didn't. Is that the cat meow? I'm sorry, snoring? Sound like a little car going. Alright, so I'm going to hit play. I realized I didn't have the network tab open. I'm going to hit reload. I know I'm going to come back here. I'm going to hit play. I've got a 500 error. Let's read the error. It's probably a simple error. I've probably got a field wrong. So object type Kanban board is not JSON serialized. That is fine. We can fix that very quickly. So, that failed on line 179. Oh, wait a minute. Let's scroll down here till we see my code. Here it is, 88. So it hit that line, 88. So it doesn't like that. That's fine. I know there are other ones in here which we do something similar. We don't need this line anymore. So we can do a serialize one. So we'll just copy that. Should go. Bang that in. So this does a similar functionality. All right. So it just serializes the JSON and then it sends it back. So considering I just like to do it like that, let's... And hey, Nocturnal, how are you? I hope you're going well. So yeah, that should work. I am going to get rid of this breaking point because it should work now. Something else didn't work. Axios post then error is not a function. Not too bad. How about me? I'm doing good. Thank you very much. I'm all packed, so I'm just gonna shove stuff in my car. So I might put a few things in tonight. I don't know. Possibly not. What's the weather like tomorrow? Only time I really use Google Weather. Yeah, but I want it tomorrow. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. For those who are wondering, it'll be about 80 in Fahrenheit. God, I've got 31 degrees. Got everything delivered that day. Moving over those 2 days. Yep, all right. Cool. All right, so the error is not a function. All right. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to check where I've done this. Also, I'm just picking a random one. A catch. All right. Not error. Simple mistake. All right, hit refresh. Bangs that open. We're getting no data again. Let's have a look at Kanban. Oh, we are getting data. I haven't done anything with that data. So here's the data. We're just looking through it, making sure that there isn't anything stupid in it. There is not, which is great news. Now with this rendering, we could actually hijack this component. All we need to do is borrow one of these. All right. So under data, we're we've got Kanban variables. All right. So these particular components here, to save myself coding over and over again, tables and stuff like that, I've made it so that way we can plug these in, and that way if I tweak one of them, it tweaks all of them. So if we have a look over here, that thing's called render object table. All right, we're going to implement that, the exact same thing, and we can borrow the code from here to literally just yoink it. Now, components go out. Yep. Just double checking components is no, it's an object. Render object table, like so. And then up here we've got render object table, but we've got to include all the properties and stuff like that. So we're literally just going to copy this, paste it in. Work smarter, not harder. All right, cool. So if we're doing that up here, so I'm going to say let's get rid of that. Okay, vbind search results, and we've just got Kanban list. Right, simple. We've got Kanban variables. Destination is Kanban. Root URL is root URL. That will just pass down. That's not going to be a problem at all. So in here we've got root URL. Yep. In here header we need Kanban boards. So the ID. Yes, we've got to flatten out the table. That's not a problem. That's pretty easy to do, and we can do that on the JavaScript side of things. So we've now just got to figure out these particular fields. So we've got 4 of them that we need. We need an ID, title, status, and end date. So with this, instead of having it like this, map out the data to a flattened table for rendering purposes. Right, map. So we've got row, and then we've got return, and it'll be an object. So if we have a look at the data over here, so Kanban reactive, so Kanban ID will equal row.pk. So we need title. We can even flatten it out just to, no, I like to get Kanban title row.fields. So under fields, we've got the Kanban board name. Status, Kanban status. Actually, no, let's flatten it. It's fine if we flatten it. The status will actually just be opened. It's just open, and end date will be nothing, right? So that will map that data into that particular format. This will pick it up and send it to our rendering object table. And inside there, what it does is it uses those variables and stuff like that to render out the correct sort of thing. All right, so That's a H1. I do prefer like the H2s, but no. There we go. And there's our Kanban board, almost correct. So let's go to our view. Let's go to our dashboard here. Let's go here. So we've got Kanban boards and all that kind of stuff. We've got title is name. That is my bad. That should be title. So all of that matches. We wait a second, we hit reload, and there we go. And now we can open up this. Now we can add a card, assign to a user, yay. Add a card, cool. We just go bang, go users, we just go here, yeah, done. All right, cool. So we've got a board and we've got a card. The best thing is you've got the card here, you've got the board here. So yeah, it's great. We can now click on this and we'll go straight to the card, which is great news. Or we can click on this and we go straight to the board. Cool. So that is there. As for the priority and card label tags, that is something I need to think about. But if we go and Trello board screenshots, I mean, they've got little colored labels and stuff like that. I still want to add in those little tiny labels, but have them appear around the bottom and stuff like that. Yeah, so we'll figure that out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to kill that. I'm going to npm run prod. Stretch for a couple of seconds. And then we're going to push this. All right, cool. Git status. All right, I'm just double checking everything. Git add, I'm happy with everything. Git commit, card ID. So we're going back to here. I just, did I complete it? Oh no, 205. Implemented the ability to show Kanban boards on the dashboard. All right, so that's been pushed. I know I'm going to get a Circle CI saying failed and all that kind of stuff. I am putting off setting up a new database, new fixtures and stuff like that, because I know I'm editing the database quite a lot, and it's a pain. So I'd rather do all this database editing with all these files and then set up the tests. And the idea with the unit tests is I want to do some proper unit tests. So they will be coming in hopefully a week, touch wood. And then, yeah, and then I can do a release. Probably March at this point. So it will be a breaking change release. I will have to shake out the whole entire application to make sure things are working 100%. So that way, when I implement all the unit and end-to-end tests, things are just working. And when I build new functionality, things are working. It'll be great. All right, so I won't do priority settings for cards today or adding card label. I have just recently moved those over. Logs will change tasks so they can't start a previous task. I need to properly sit down and think about that one. Add block, no, I need to think about that one. So we've done most of those. Oh, sorry. auto email users assigned to projects. Yeah, I've got to re-implement a email thing. That will come. Auto email users assigned to tasks. Yeah. Email stakeholders uses automatically. Yeah, I've got to implement an email scheduler. It will happen. Django schedule emails is the thing. Yeah, so what I've got to do is cron trap type of thing. So I've got to set it up so it sends it, it holds it somewhere and then sends it out. And then after a couple of days, all the emails will just be purged. So yeah, I just got to research what's the best way to do it, just in case there is actually a tool that does it. So yeah. All right, have priority settings for cards. Yep. We only just pulled those in today. Users should see Kanban boards in the group is assigned to. Yes, this is ready for QA. I'll add in some notes. We have just implemented the ability for users to see Kanban boards on their dashboard. I didn't update the card. Search, we've got nothing in search. Organization, customers, and this is more writing stuff up. So we need to write up documentation for Postgres in case you want to actually. It's put on the backlog because I'm trying to push people towards using the Docker. Each object should has is blocked by a function. They do not include their group as. Excuse me. Sorry, I might have to cut it short. I am yawning like there's no tomorrow. Document update. Yep. All right. Cool. Most of those are things that I got to do. I've also got to update this version of NearBeach, which will happen shortly. It will happen when I migrate this from AWS to a new one. AWS to Azure. Oh, it's been a long day. All right. Actually, I might just call it there. I know